Hello everyone, Citizen of the Future here, and today's video I'm going to talk about some regulated connections between Quant Network and XRP and Ripple and the central bank digital currency with the UK Digital Pound Foundation. So this one is to show you guys how deep the regulated connections go. And I'm going to play a couple of clips from a video that I watched that I think is relevant for anyone that's investing in cryptocurrencies. You should always do the foundational research to see what the networks are connected to, what the team is doing, what they're building, and what they are a part of on the bigger scheme of things. So before I get started here, I'm just going to record my quick disclaimer that I always got to put in here. So none of this is financial advice. I'm not paid to create any of this, but the reason I create content is because I see a lack of good factual information out there around regulated blockchain networks. So I sift through information and I find the regulated seeds that haven't been edited or chopped or based on hype. This is regulated information, so it may be dry in some parts, but if you're investing in these networks, you should see these connections. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to get started with, if you don't know what the Digital Pound Foundation is, I'm going to explain it here. So the Digital Pound Foundation it's a consortium of people that are building the UK CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. So part of that, Gilbert Verdian and Susan Friedman with Ripple. These are the main head honchos in there. And where I'm going to bring you guys down is a video from the UK, the Digital Pound Foundation, where we see a couple words from Gilbert Verdian. And if you don't know who he is, you should definitely research him. He's a part of Quant Network. He's the CEO of Quant. He is the one that's leading the interoperability Overledger. So Overledger is an operating system that allows different blockchains and DLT networks to interoperate, to send funds between different networks. And then Susan Friedman here, she does a pitch on XRP in front of all these people. And then I'm going to show you guys a central bank document or a banking document that I found that I want to show something that's like, oh, wow, that's really, really convenient. So first of all, let's get started here. And future of money. Okay, so the future of money. Does the UK need a digital pound? A fireside chat with the Bank of England. Okay, and as we see here, we've got Accenture, we got Ava Labs, we got CGI. I'm not sure what Billion is, but we got Ripple. So these are big major players. So first things first, I'm going to get started with Susan Friedman's pitch about XRP.
Thanks very much, Lee. I'm going to come to Susan now, Susan Friedman from Ripple.
Thanks, Helen. My name is Susan, and I'm the head of policy at Ripple, and we really appreciate having the opportunity to be part of the foundation and to speak today. Ripple is an enterprise software company. We utilize blockchain technology in our RippleNet solution to enable financial institutions to effect faster, cheaper, and more reliable cross-border payments. In addition to deploying RippleNet for fiat payments, some customers also choose to leverage the digital asset XRP, the native asset of the XRP ledger, which is a decentralized public blockchain, to serve as a bridge between fiat currencies. Ripple leverages XRP because of its speed.
It's a bridge between currencies, a neutral bridge that's fast and scalable.
Scalability, energy efficiency, and cost, all of which help reduce traditional frictions in the cross-border payments market. Earlier this year, we also announced the creation of our CBDC solution, a private ledger platform for central banks that utilizes the technology underpinning our public XRP ledger. Our full stack solution enables central banks to mint, distribute, and transact with their own digital currency. On why we think that this work is reflective of our belief that there is real opportunity for public good associated with CBDCs, which is why we're excited to be part of the foundation. On the question of whether the UK needs a digital pound, we believe, as has been echoed by other members today, that there are several benefits that digital currency, a publicly issued digital currency, has that physical equivalents do not. Unlike cash, CBDCs could enable micropayments and otherwise be programmed for specific uses to support government aims such as delivering targeted financial stimulus to individuals and businesses. CBDCs could also foster programmable payments, enabling autonomous financial products and completely new business models not possible or even envisioned today. These new use cases have the potential to enable broader access to financial products unimpeded by legacy systems. At the same time, we recognize that implementation of a digital pound poses complex policy questions which do not have easy answers. But striking the right balance could have huge impacts, including for those considered unbanked or underbanked. To this end, we welcome yesterday's ministerial statement from John Glenn setting out the roadmap that authorities in the UK will be following regarding the potential issuance of a digital pound. And as this work continues, we think there are 2 points worth highlighting that have also been mentioned by my colleagues. The first is interoperability. Using standardized APIs and adopting a common set of protocols will ultimately be core to any successful CBDC design and help avoid creating a closed loop system. And Ripple has seen firsthand the benefits of such an approach. Second, we believe there is an important role for the private sector to play in an open platform approach that brings together expertise and investment from different stakeholders will provide the best opportunity to build value-adding services with minimal friction from intermediaries. We're encouraged by the work that the Bank of England has already done, and we are excited to partner with the Digital Pound Foundation to tackle and help contribute to the dialogue on many of these important issues. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here today.
Thank you, Susan. And I thought that point you made about the direct payments from government was very interesting, because I know there were a lot of people in the tech world very frustrated during COVID lockdowns and so on about the slowness of business recovery loans, or perhaps issuing payments to people on low incomes who have to self-isolate and can't work due to COVID. So, those are just a couple of concrete examples going back to compelling features. I'm sure we'd all be quite compelled by the idea that we could receive payment from government in those circumstances much faster and more simply than we did during the last 18 months. So I think that one alone, hopefully we're moving out and away from lockdowns now, but I'm sure there are other examples we can think of public crises where we might want to have those kind of payments. So I think that for me is really interesting. We're going to come next to Vincent Mealy from.
So she just pitched RippleNet and XRP to all these people that are participating in building the digital CBDC for the UK. So next here, I'm going to go and skip over to see Gilbert Verdian, so you guys can see what he has to say in this meeting that I found valuable. Okay, so Richard Ells here, he was just talking about interoperability. And now Helen here is she just mentioned that interoperability is something Gilbert Verdian is very passionate about, and he's about to go next. And if you guys don't know what quant is, you want to be a part of the regulated blockchain revolution, you need to do some research. Put the hours in, look into quant for your interoperability solution. They've got a lot of great partners, a lot of great regulated partners, and big connections. So here we go.
To say, and actually you touched on interoperability, and I know that's something that Gilbert Verdian is passionate about, so I'm going to ask Gilbert to speak to us next from Quant.
Thank you, Ellen. It's great to be here. So, my name is Gilbert, CEO at Quant. So I'm here today as excited as you can be. I've been waiting since 2008 to create a digital pound. I was at the Treasury during the financial crisis, seeing the Satoshi paper weeks after it was released, saw the potential, and got the rest of government on it. So we've been looking at this as pretty much the first government in the world to officially look at the technology weeks after it was released. So for me personally, this is a transformational moment. These evolution in systems only happens every 30 years. Right now, we're at the forefront of digital assets being integrated into financial systems. And if you look at payments globally, domestic.
So did you hear what he just said? Things like this only happen every 30 years. We are at the forefront of the digital asset revolution, where digital assets are now merging with traditional finance. What we are involved in when we're following these utility networks is so deep. It gets deeper. The more you dig, the deeper it gets. But let's finish what he says.
And cross-border, there's only 56 countries that are doing real-time payments. And it's quite a long transition, as Will said, to go from cash to check and batch payments to real-time and quite expensive. But we're able to actually update global financial systems to digital assets, to a modernized version, to make the money that people use serve us better, because we're in a digital age. And if you look at society, we've evolved into a very digital society, especially with COVID, and money needs to evolve with us. And so the same way, our phones and our data can roam the world and work in any country, we kind of need our money to do the same. And having digital assets, CBDCs, and the UK's digital pounds gives us access and makes money fit for the future. And I'm really excited to be here. We're quite active in this space. We've been working on standards, establishing the ISO standard in 2015, and more recently the MIT IETF standard that we called ODAP, Open Digital Asset Protocol. We're here to foster this adoption of blockchain and DLT and make CBDCs embedded within the financial system. It's not here to replace the financial system, and crypto and everything has its place, but digital assets and CBDCs specifically, they're here to evolve and complement the financial system. And we're looking forward to making that happen at Quant. Thank you.
Thanks, Gilbert. I think Rishi Sunak was talking about this at COP26, about restructuring the UK financial system, and maybe we can get onto this a bit more in the discussion at the end about how digital pound might fit into that. But we're grateful for your technical and business experience, as well as your policy experience in helping add that to the Foundation's research and activities. So thank you very much.
So they're restructuring the UK financial system. The financial system is evolving with digital assets and CBDCs. It's evolving. We are in the next phase to the global monetary system. This is huge, guys. This is huge. So there's one other part that I want to flip up to here, and it's a guy, Jeremy Wilson, and he sort of just explains about the Digital Pound Foundation. And it's not about just one company using their technology. It's about using multiple companies and them working together, not just singling out one solution. So what is the role of the Digital Pound Foundation? Let's hear from Jeremy Wilson himself. Stay tuned.
A lot of people have been asking, obviously we've just heard from many of our members, what is the role of the Foundation members in terms of implementation of a CBDC or a digital pound? Does it mean that those companies will be somehow involved in the direct implementation of a digital pound? And also, what relationship does the Foundation have with the Bank of England? Are we sort of working with or for the Bank of England, or are we separate from that? So it'd be great if you could just speak a little bit about that, Jeremy, just to clarify the position.
Take myself off mute. Absolutely, Helen. And if I don't, I think I can answer it relatively quickly. But if there's one component I've missed, just don't hesitate to come back to me. I think, interestingly enough, the role of the members became very clear. At least it became very clear to me as they were talking and as the introductions over the course of the last 20, 30 minutes have taken place, that one of the keys to the success of this foundation will not be the promotion of self-interest of the individual enterprises. The interest of the members is primarily to share their skills and expertise and experience in the development of this phenomenon as it moves forward. If you were, any of you were privileged as I am, of course, to be in the board meetings, in the boardroom, of the foundation when it meets, you'd be left in no doubts about that. This is not some sort of a stalking horse for individual enterprises to move their particular foibles and interests forward. So the point about the working with the Bank of England is that I suspect Will's not on the call, but I wouldn't never seek to put Will in a difficult situation anyway.
I think he's still here, actually.
You are. Oh, well,
Yep.
oh, good, Will. There is no formal link between the foundation and the Bank of England. And I think that is a reflection of as Will was explaining, the bank has got some pretty powerful structures in place which span a very large constituency and a large community. The importance of something like this developing will be in the engagement of stakeholders way beyond formal structures. This touches everyone and everything, this thing. And therefore, it counts and matters that there is full-scale engagement across the piece. As Vincent was saying, you need plenty of discussion and debate about this. Now, you can either do those sorts of things individually, which I think there'll be plenty of room to do that, or you can do them as specific communities. It so happens that the foundation, when it was formed, and it didn't happen by accident, was made up of this extraordinary breadth of expertise, knowledge, and experience that you've heard, ranging all the way from the sort of legal constituency right through to some pretty sophisticated, I hope they don't mind me saying this, geeks. So we've got the full range, and I think that collaborative community, and I should include that, there are representatives as well, or observers from UK government as well. The foundation has a pretty wide spread, and I'm pretty sure that footprint will get wider as we move forward and as the whole phenomenon moves forward.
Well, that's just to show that what they're building is going to be broad. It's going to be, they've got pros from many different industries in this consortium that's forming the Digital Pound Foundation, and they're going to use ideas from all of them to build this new next generation system. Deep. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you. Those are the most important parts that I found in that video that really show, okay, look at the reach of Ripple and the reach of Quant. Who are they intertwined with? Some very powerful roles. Okay, so now I'm going to go to this banking document that I was reading on central bank digital currencies. So this is central bank digital currencies, a solution in search of a problem. This was released January 13th, 2022. So this is fresh off the press, hot. Okay, this is from the House of Lords Economic Affairs Committee. Okay, well, I'm from Canada, so I'm like, who's the House of Lords? Well, the House of Lords, from a couple of Google searches, they come up with this here, it's like the secondary parliament to the UK. It is, so there's the main parliament, and then there's the House of Lords, which is like their secondary parliament committee that structures laws and regulations and stuff like that. Well, that loads. I'm going to go back to the document and show you this coincidental thing that I was just going down here, and this reflects on XRP, and it actually made me laugh because I was reading through this. I think it was on page 28 here. So most of it is high-end CBDC stuff. So I'm not going. It's too advanced for most people that are like, what the CBDC? Okay, it's central bank digital currency. I'm not getting into the jibber jabber here, but here it is. Where is it? Page. So side notes, because this like anytime you have these regulated content, these documents, they got to leave a citation to where they're taking content here. Okay, so where was it? 28. Okay, so the one thing that struck my eye was right here: Bank of International Settlements, core CBDC core features. And then I seen this written evidence from Ripple. I was like, oh, my favorite company. here we go. So Ripple CDC 0034, and this is a regulated document. So they came up with this. This is from the Committees Parliament UK, written evidence, okay? Are you ready for this? Central Bank Digital Currencies Inquiry, written evidence for the UK Parliament, and here it is. So let's read through what I thought was very important, and you know, the fact that it's in written evidence in the UK Parliament, they're working on the digital CBDCs. Susan Friedman, she's working with Ripple on the Digital Pound Foundation. And if you notice, some of her words are actually the exact same stuff from this. So this is really coincidental that I came across this from that one document. So Ripple Labs Inc. Contributed to and supports a submission made by the Digital Pound Foundation, which we are a member. In response to this inquiry, we write to provide a short introduction of our company, including a description of our interests in the space. We also offer several principles for consideration which we think are relevant as the committee examines the main issues confronting HMM Treasury and the Bank of England in exploring the potential for introduction of a CBDC within the UK. Right here. So here they're explaining to the committee, Ripple allows financial institutions to process payments instantly, reliably, cost-effectively, and with end-to-end visibility anywhere in the world. So remember, SWIFT doesn't have that end-to-end visibility. It takes 5 to 7 business days. It's slow, it's fragmented, and broken. RippleNet, our enterprise software solution, which is powered by a standardization application programming interface and built on market-leading and open source or open standard Interledger protocol. So if you don't know what Interledger protocol is, you need to put in the research. The ILP is a very important protocol that's built using XRP for settlement on the back end. So it enables financial institutions to facilitate faster and less costly cross-border payments, demonstrating that deep interoperability between commercial financial institutions can make payments truly efficient, particularly in eliminating the uncertainty and risk historically involved in moving money across borders using interbank messaging alone. Because in the current correspondent banking system, it takes 5 to 7 business days for a payment to settle. There's foreign exchange, there's fees, it's slow and broken. Ripple offers entities an on-demand liquidity capability which leverages XRP, the digital asset native to the XRP ledger, a distributed ledger platform. As a bridge between fiat currencies, further reducing friction and costs from commercial financial institutions to transact across multiple global markets. So let me just pull this up here. Welcome to my mind map. If you're new to this here, this is my mind map of information. And what I want to show you guys is so you can picture what they're talking about here. Okay, guys, so here it is. So they're talking about the use of XRP for settlement between central bank digital currencies, right here. You have any CBDC, and then it converts into XRP. Then the XRP is sent to the other address, and then from that XRP settling in the bank there, they can convert it into any foreign exchange. It only costs, it takes 4 seconds and fraction of a cent transaction fees. So that's what they're explaining. Ripple utilizes XRP in the XRP ledger in its product offerings. XRP is independent of Ripple. So right, XRP is a decentralized asset. Okay, it's not centralized. It is a decentralized asset that has centralized holdings of, because Ripple has the billions of XRP in their escrow. But that money is locked in escrow. What escrow is, it's a slow release, so they can't dump all their holdings at once. So every month, 1 billion XRP gets released out of the escrow contract, and whatever doesn't get bought up in the open market gets locked back in for, I think, a 55-month locked contract, so that money can't be released for another 55 months. So XRP is a decentralized asset, and they've got majority of centralized holding, but it's locked in an escrow. So the XRP is decentralized, open source, based on cryptography. Ripple leverages XRP for the use in its products suite because XRP's suitability for cross-border payments. Key characteristics of XRP include speed, scalability, energy efficiency, and cost. Ripple also recently announced a pilot of the private version of the XRP ledger, the CBDC private ledger. So that's a side chain. So this enables banks to create a side chain off the public ledger, so it's privatized so people can't see the transactions they're sending between who. The CBDC private ledger is based on the same blockchain technology that powers the XRP ledger, which has supported the management of billions of dollars of value for over 8 years with no significant security or operational issues. So we've had zero downtime. Compare this to Solana. Solana has had shit ton of downtime, severe security problems, and it's institutional investors cannot invest in a network that has downtime because that you lose all credibility when that happens. So the CBDC private ledger can be used for both payments and issuing currencies. Issuing currencies is the big one here, CBDCs. And leveraging the XRP ledger and the associated RippleNet technologies, commercial financial institutions and central banks are able to make cost-effective, reliable, and close to instantaneous payments, including at high volumes for the use cases such as micropayments. While the CBDC private ledger has been designed on the basis of an open source solution, Ripple has adapted it for the use of the central banks can run a private network, allowing complete control over the system. And then relevant principles for consideration. Ripple believes the following points are relevant to the questions set posed by the House of Lords Economic Affairs Committee. CBDCs offer benefits that fiat currency does not. Fiat means cash. We believe there is a place and reliance on both physical and digital currency. So they're not going to just eliminate cash out of the blue, guys. No, they're going to introduce a central bank digital currency, and it's going to be cash will be phased out over like a 15-year period of time. It's going to be both. They're going to use cash and central bank digital currencies. It's not they're eliminating cash altogether. CBDCs can enable micropayments or otherwise programmed for specific uses to support government aims or macroeconomic policies, such as delivering targeted financial stimulus to support individuals and businesses. So the CBDCs could be time-bound, made region-specific, or linked to specific industries to stimulate consumer demand and support key industries and policies outcomes like the green economy or decarbonization. So what they're saying is with CBDCs, they can literally put an expiry date on it. They could say you can only spend it at a grocery store. You can only spend it on gas. They can put they can program that money to be used for certain things. Programmable money. Ensuring privacy considerations are met must remain a top priority. So, depending on how they're issued, CBDCs may require central banks to take additional operation tasks such as KYC analysis, so know your customer, leaving them responsible for protecting large troves of sensitive financial information. Accordingly, it is important that CBDC creation be paired with robust data and privacy protection measures to ensure that any customer information gathered be specifically tailored to the risk being addressed and the safeguards are implemented to prevent unwarranted dissemination. Maintaining user privacy, including protection of customer data, is key to ensuring continued confidence and trust in money and payments. So a lot of people say, oh, CBDCs are going to screw up our privacy. it seems to me from reading all these documents, they're going to make sure that the privacy layer is protected so that there is not a huge risk involved. A CBDC might well bring many unbanked or underbanked people into Britain's financial system for the first time. So even in countries like America, there's still, and Britain, like all over the world, there's like 1.8 billion people that are unbanked, that don't have access to a bank account for whatever reasons, whether they're not close to one, whether they only use cash, etc., etc. CBDCs are mobile money, just like these digital assets. They're mobile money. Anyone with a mobile phone or a computer can participate in the global markets. So here we go. The Bank of England has previously observed that there are currently 1.2 million unbanked people in the UK, 1.4% of the UK's population. Ripple believes CBDCs, for which only a smartphone is needed to access, could provide consumers with an easy and secure way to access central bank money and financial services, assuming privacy concerns can be met. There we go, privacy concerns being met. Any legislative changes should be principles-based and technology neutral. Technology neutral. So we need a neutral thing that's not biased or picking one side. Like the SEC and the Ethereum thing going on right now. We know they're picking the one side, and that's not fair. Ripple believes any legislative changes made should be technology agnostic, insofar as the government should not explicitly or otherwise endorse any particular technology. SEC Gov, they need to read this. They need to stop picking one technology and going on their word. It's a load of crap. So, this is why I'm talking about this, because this is deep, guys. A public-private approach is needed to ensure maximum utility of any CBDC issue. So, private and public combining a consortium and working together. We believe that the private sector solutions, such as the use of a neutral bridge asset like XRP, supported by software solutions like the CBDC private ledger, could have an important role to play in supporting healthy liquidity markets that allow for frictionless and cost-effective value movement between new forms of digital money in real time, enabling the exchange of less liquid digital money pairs and increasing competition by lowering entry barriers to new and smaller market participants. An open platform approach that brings together expertise and investment from different stakeholders, including private sector firms, governments, and academia, provides the best opportunity to build value, adding services without friction from intermediaries. October 25th, 2021. Crazy. This is explaining what we've all been speculating. This is going to the House of Lords, which I don't even think it loaded here. I am human. So all from this right here, them citing this in this banking document shows that it's being spoke about in the House of Lords, in the Parliament of the UK. This ties in exactly with the Digital Pound Foundation. And then I want to also show you guys something here. Is right here. Back in, I believe this was in 2019. Let's see. Bank of England. They did a proof of concept with Ripple and the Interledger protocol to act as a settlement between the real-time gross settlement systems. In this proof of concept, we want to explore synchronized movement of two different currencies and two different simulated RTGS systems using the ILP, Interledger protocol. right here. The Ripple solution utilized by the bank was built around the open source interledger protocol that enables payments to be made across different ledgers and networks across the world. A ledger is essentially a file used to record transactions measured in terms of a monetary unit of account. The solution used Ripple Connect, which acted as the interface that enables an institution's internal systems to integrate with the Ripple network. This means the payment instructions can be sent and received, and the state of the payments can be queried. The solution also utilized the ILP validator network, which coordinates the settlement of payments between the transacting ledgers and is a source of truth regarding the success or failure of such payments. We successfully integrated the Ripple solution with 2 simulated RTGS systems hosted in the cloud and demonstrated we could process a successful cross-border payment across 2 RTGS systems simultaneously. We also demonstrated that an attempted cross-border payment that failed validation on the receiving side would not be honored. This was, I think, 2 years, I think this was in 2018, 2019. I'd have to Google search the document again. But it just shows like this is all coming together. We got now the Digital Pound Foundation creating the Digital UK CBDC. Ripple's involved. XRP's most likely involved. And then I want to take you guys for another loop here. So this is the side chains that it talks about here, okay? Here it is. Federated sidechains. So these are private ledgers that can be built on XRP so that they have their own private central bank digital currency that other countries can't see the transactions being made, how much money is being moved. It's private. So Bank of England, here we go. We'll see a side chain. We could see a side chain on there, and it's interoperable because it all uses federated side chains. All still use the 100 billion XRP that's in existence. So, you know, it's crazy to see that they're a part of something so big, and we're following this revolution here, guys. And this is from another most relevant for wholesale CBDC for crypto asset designed for interbank payments and settlements, JPM Coin and XRP. And I think that was a World Bank document. The future will see different CBDC models implemented through different technologies across different countries. And the ability to bridge the gap between these varying initiatives will be equally important to ensuring that they are successful on a global scale. And I added these logos so you can see one day there's going to be tens, hundreds of CBDCs, and they're all going to be interoperable. They might be built on different systems, but they are creating international standards that these payments will have to meet. So say you have a CBDC that's built on Quant and you have a CBDC built on XRP Ledger. They meet these interoperability standards to messaging standards so that you could send a payment from either and it will interoperate. So here we go, Interledger Protocol, the enterprise solutions. You got PayID, which is you can make your own name for your XRP Ledger account. Say if it was Citizen of the Future 1, and that's you can change that. So if somebody sends a payment to Citizen of the Future 1, it goes to your XRP account. The Interledger Protocol, I'm gonna get into that in a different video because it's deep, but there's so many connections. And that is what is the internet standard, is the Interledger Protocol. That is the decentralized layer to the internet that everyone is building on. So here you go, exploration of CBDC interoperability. Transaction protocol, it allows them to go in between different CBDCs. Yeah, exciting. So I wanted to record that. I hope that gives you guys some good insight into just these two sources, because look at that. It took me 40 minutes to go over all this, and it's just a fraction of the time that I've spent digging into this. So if you like something, if you thought it was interesting, share, get this information out there, like, comment, subscribe, and just a reminder for everyone, everyone that's been in the markets, you know, we see this 50% correction from all-time highs right now. Don't get shaken out. When you get bad times in the market, do dig deeper, more fundamental research, learn, connect it, map it out, figure out how they're connecting with other companies and what they're building, because this is a multi-year game. This isn't that we're not gonna get rich over a year. We're gonna get rich over 10 years. That's when we're gonna 5, 10 years. That's when we're gonna see the biggest changes in price, is once they get all this legislation, once they get all the kinks lined out, that is when we're gonna do. So keep learning, citizens of the future. If you're participating in these markets, then you're a citizen of the future, and it's up to us to put our opinions together and figure out what is going on. So again, everyone, have a great day. I hope this brought some light to something for you and made some sort of connection. And until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care. Citizen of the Future out.